I'm a 25-year-old woman who has been in a relationship with my boyfriend, who is 28, for almost 2 years now. In so many ways, our relationship is wonderful. We have a strong connection, we enjoy each other's company, and we support each other's dreams and goals. But there's one area where we seem to struggle again and again, and that's communication, especially when it comes to emotional matters. My boyfriend is not a very emotionally expressive person. He has a hard time talking about his feelings or showing empathy in certain situations. This can be really challenging for me because I'm someone who really values open and honest communication in a relationship. A few weeks ago, we had an incident that really brought this issue to the forefront for me. It was my boyfriend's birthday, and I had planned a whole weekend celebration for him. I booked a cozy cabin in the mountains, paid for all of our food, surprised him with a cake and decorations, and even got him some really thoughtful gifts. I put a lot of effort into making the weekend special for him and showing him how much I cared. The day after we got back from the trip, we had plans to go out to dinner with his friends to continue the birthday festivities. My boyfriend told me that he had invited a group of his buddies and had also offered his parents' guest room to 2 other friends, Sarah and Mike. I had only met Sarah once before, and we were both pretty intoxicated at the time, so it wasn't the greatest first impression. I felt a little uneasy about her staying over, but I tried to be understanding. On the day of the dinner, my boyfriend's parents and I were getting ready to head out when Sarah suddenly walked through the door. I was totally taken aback. My boyfriend hadn't mentioned that she was coming over or that she was just minutes away. I felt blindsided and upset, especially since he knew I was already feeling a bit uncomfortable with the situation. At the restaurant, something happened between my boyfriend and his younger sister that caused a lot of tension. She seemed really upset the whole time, and his parents appeared very worried. We didn't know what was going on. Later that evening, I told my boyfriend that he needed to communicate better with me, especially about things like Sarah coming over. He agreed, and Sarah ended up leaving early the next morning. But just an hour later, we saw his parents, and they were both visibly distraught, crying and not talking. It had something to do with my boyfriend's sister, but we were clueless about what was happening. Out of nowhere, my boyfriend told me that his parents said I needed to leave. I was shocked and hurt, as his family has always felt like a second family to me. I quickly gathered my things and left, feeling confused and upset. My boyfriend can't stand drama, so I knew he was probably angry too. But what really hurt me was what happened next. My boyfriend didn't contact me at all that day. I drove home, which takes over an hour, and he didn't even check to see if I made it back okay. He didn't say he would call me the next day or that everything was all right. I heard nothing from him. As the day went on, his entire family reached out to me individually to apologize or express their love for me, but my boyfriend was the only one who remained silent. When he finally did send me a text, it was short and impersonal, and he continued to ignore me for the rest of the night. I found his behavior to be incredibly thoughtless and selfish, especially after all I had done to make his birthday special. I felt like he was taking me for granted and disregarding my feelings and needs. His lack of communication and consideration has been an ongoing issue in our relationship, but this felt like a tipping point for me. I told him I needed some space and that we needed to have a serious discussion about our relationship. I'm not sure how to approach this conversation or what to say to him. I don't want to attack him or make him feel bad, but I also need him to understand how his actions, or lack thereof, affect me. I know that relationships require effort and that nobody is perfect, but I also believe that both partners need to be willing to work on understanding and supporting each other. I feel like I consistently go above and beyond for my boyfriend, but when I need him to be there for me emotionally, he often falls short. I don't think my boyfriend is a bad person, and I know he cares about me in his own way. But I also think he has a lot of room for growth when it comes to communication and empathy. I want to be with someone who makes me feel valued, heard, and understood. And right now, I'm not getting that from him consistently. At the same time, I recognize that I may have my own issues to work on. I tend to be a people pleaser and can sometimes give too much of myself without expecting anything in return. I need to learn how to set better boundaries and communicate my own needs more clearly. I'm not sure what the future holds for our relationship, but I know that we need to have an honest conversation about where we're at and what we both need to feel fulfilled and supported. I'm scared of how he might react or if he'll even be willing to listen, but I know I can't keep going on like this. I love my boyfriend, and I want us to work through this together. But I also know that I deserve to be with someone who values communication and emotional intimacy as much as I do. I hope that he can be that person for me, but if not, I may need to reevaluate what I want and need in a relationship. Navigating love and communication is never easy, but I believe it's worth the effort when you find someone who truly sees and appreciates you for who you are. I want to build a relationship based on mutual respect, understanding, and growth, and I'm willing to put in the work to make that happen. So as I prepare for this conversation with my boyfriend, I'm reminding myself of my own worth and the importance of advocating for my needs. I'm also trying to approach the situation with compassion and understanding, knowing that we both have room for improvement. I don't know what the outcome will be, but I do know that I deserve to be heard and respected in my relationship. And if my boyfriend can't provide that for me consistently, then maybe it's time to consider if this is the right relationship for me. Regardless of what happens, I'm proud of myself for recognizing my own needs and being willing to have the tough conversations. Love isn't always easy, but it's always worth fighting for when it's with the right person. So here's to the journey ahead, to the growth and challenges and joys that come with building a life with someone else. Here's to love in all its messy, complicated, beautiful forms. And here's to me for being brave enough to stand up for myself and what I deserve. No matter what happens, I know I'll be okay. I know I'm strong enough to handle whatever comes my way. This relationship has taught me so much about myself, about love, and about what I want and need in a partner. It's shown me the importance of communication, empathy, and emotional connection. It's also shown me that I'm capable of giving so much love and care to another person, even when it's not always reciprocated in the way I need. I don't regret the time I've spent with my boyfriend or the love I've given him. Every experience, even the painful ones, has been a chance for me to learn and grow. And I know that no matter what happens with this relationship, I'll take those lessons with me into the future. But I also know that I can't keep pouring from an empty cup. I can't keep giving and giving without also receiving the emotional support and understanding that I need. It's not selfish to want those things in a relationship. It's a basic human need and one that I deserve to have met. So as I sit here, thinking about the conversation I need to have with my boyfriend, I'm feeling a mix of emotions. I'm nervous, scared, and a little sad, but I'm also feeling hopeful and proud of myself for being willing to speak my truth and stand up for what I need. I know that this conversation might not be easy. It might be uncomfortable and even painful at times, but I also know that it's necessary if we want to build a relationship that's based on real love, trust, and understanding. And if my boyfriend can't meet me halfway, if he can't be willing to work on his communication and empathy skills, then I'll know that it's time for me to move on. It will hurt, and it won't be easy, but I know that I'll survive. I know that I'll find happiness and love again, even if it's not with him, because at the end of the day, I know my worth. I know that I deserve a love that's equal, supportive, and understanding. I deserve a partner who sees me, hears me, and values me for exactly who I am. And I'm willing to wait for that love, even if it means being alone for a while. I'm willing to focus on my own growth and happiness, to surround myself with people who lift me up and support me, and to keep believing in the power of true, healthy love. Because I know it's out there. I know that there's someone out there who will love me the way I deserve to be loved, who will communicate with me openly and honestly, who will be there for me through the good times and the bad. And until I find that person, I'll keep working on myself. I'll keep learning and growing and becoming the best version of myself. I'll keep spreading love and kindness in the world, even when it's hard. I'll keep believing in the beauty and power of human connection, because that's what life is all about, isn't it? It's about the journey, the growth, the love we give and receive along the way. It's about the moments of joy and laughter, the moments of pain and heartbreak, and everything in between. And through it all, we have the power to choose how we show up, how we love, and how we live. We have the power to create the kind of relationships and the kind of life that we truly want. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep choosing love, even when it's hard. I'm going to keep choosing myself, even when it's scary. I'm going to keep choosing growth, even when it's uncomfortable. And I'm going to trust that everything happens for a reason, that every challenge is an opportunity for me to learn and become a better version of myself. So here's to the journey ahead, to the love that awaits me, and to the person I'm becoming along the way. Here's to the power of honest communication, emotional connection, and true partnership. And here's to all of us, navigating the beautiful, messy, complicated thing called love. May we all find the courage to speak our truth, to stand up for what we need, and to never settle for anything less than the love we truly deserve. As I reflect on my own journey and the journeys of so many others, I'm struck by the incredible resilience and strength of the human heart. We are all capable of so much love, so much growth, and so much transformation, even in the face of great challenges and pain. I think about all the people out there who are struggling in their relationships, who are feeling unheard, unseen, and undervalued. I think about the people who are settling for less than they deserve, who are afraid to speak up and ask for what they need, who are convinced that they are not worthy of true, deep, unconditional love. And my heart goes out to each and every one of them, because I know how hard it can be to navigate the complexities of love and relationships. I know how easy it is to get lost in the patterns of people-pleasing, self-doubt, and fear. I know how tempting it can be to stay in a situation that isn't serving us, simply because it's familiar or because we're afraid of being alone. But I also know that we are all deserving of so much more. We are all deserving of a love that sees us, hears us, and values us for exactly who we are. We are all deserving of a love that supports our growth, that challenges us to be our best selves, that celebrates our successes and comforts us in our failures. And I believe that the key to finding that kind of love starts with loving ourselves. It starts with recognizing our own worth, our own needs, and our own desires. It starts with being willing to stand up for ourselves, to set healthy boundaries, and to communicate openly and honestly about what we need and want. Because the truth is, we cannot expect others to love us in the way we deserve if we are not first loving ourselves in that way. We cannot expect others to respect us if we are not first respecting ourselves. We cannot expect others to value us if we are not first valuing ourselves. And that's not always easy. It takes work, it takes courage, and it takes a willingness to face our own fears and insecurities head-on. It takes a commitment to our own growth and healing, even when it's uncomfortable or painful. But I believe that it's so worth it, because when we learn to love ourselves fully and unconditionally, we open ourselves up to the possibility of truly incredible relationships. We attract partners who see and appreciate us for who we are, who are willing to put in the work to build something real and lasting, who are committed to growing and learning alongside us. And that's the kind of love that I want for myself and for everyone else out there. A love that is equal, respectful, and supportive. A love that challenges us to be our best selves and celebrates us for exactly who we are. A love that is built on a foundation of trust, communication, and mutual understanding. I know that getting there isn't always easy. I know that it can be scary to let go of what's familiar, even if it's not serving us. I know that it can be hard to trust in the unknown, to believe that something better is out there waiting for us. But I also know that we are all so much stronger and more capable than we often give ourselves credit for. We are all deserving of a love that lights us up from the inside out, that makes us feel seen, heard, and valued in every way. And so, to anyone out there who is struggling in their relationship, who is feeling lost or alone or unworthy, I want to offer these words of encouragement and support. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are not unlovable. You are a beautiful, worthy, incredible human being who deserves all the love and happiness in the world. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be uncertain. It's okay to not have all the answers. But it's not okay to settle for anything less than the love you truly deserve. So keep going, keep growing, keep learning, keep loving yourself fiercely and unapologetically. Keep standing up for your needs and your desires. Keep believing in the power of your own heart and the incredible love that you have to offer the world. And trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Trust that every challenge, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt is leading you closer to the love and the life that you truly desire. Because I believe that we are all here for a reason. We are all here to love, to learn, to grow, and to make a difference in the world. And we all have the power to create the kind of relationships and the kind of life that we truly want. So keep going, my friends. Keep loving, keep growing, keep shining your light in the world, and know that you are never, ever alone on this journey. We are all in this together, navigating the beautiful, messy, complicated thing called love. And I believe that with enough courage, enough self-love, and enough faith in ourselves and in each other, we can all find our way to the kind of love that we truly deserve. A love that sees us, hears us, and values us for exactly who we are. A love that supports our growth, that challenges us to be our best selves, that celebrates our successes and comforts us in our failures. A love that is equal, respectful, and supportive. A love that is built on a foundation of trust, communication, and mutual understanding. That is the kind of love that I want for myself, for my boyfriend, and for everyone else out there. And I believe that it's possible for all of us, if we're willing to do the work and to never settle for anything less. So here's to the journey ahead, to the love that awaits us, and to the incredible people we're becoming along the way. Here's to speaking our truth, standing up for what we need, and never settling for anything less than the love we truly deserve. And here's to all of us, supporting each other, encouraging each other, and reminding each other of our own worth and beauty every step of the way. Together, I believe that we can create a world filled with more love, more understanding, and more authentic human connection. A world where we all feel seen, heard, and valued for exactly who we are. A world where we all have the courage to love ourselves and each other fiercely and unapologetically. That is the world I want to live in, and I believe that it starts with each and every one of us doing our own work, healing our own hearts, and showing up as our most authentic, loving selves. So let's keep going, my friends. Let's keep loving, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of our own hearts and the incredible love that we have to offer the world. I am so grateful to be on this journey with all of you, and I cannot wait to see the incredible love stories that we will all create, one brave, authentic, self-loving step at a time. Here's to us, to love, and to the beautiful, messy, complicated, and absolutely incredible journey ahead. I'm going to take a deep breath, gather my courage, and have that conversation with my boyfriend. I'm going to speak my truth, stand up for what I need, and trust in the power of authentic communication and connection. And no matter what happens, I'm going to keep loving myself, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of my own heart and the incredible love that I have to offer the world. Because that is who I am. That is what I deserve. And that is what I will never, ever settle for anything less than. So here I go, into the unknown, into the beautiful, messy, complicated thing called love. Wish me luck, my friends. And know that I am sending so much love and support to each and every one of you on your own journeys. Let's do this. I'm 28 years old, and I'm getting married to the love of my life in just 2 weeks. We've been together for 5 wonderful years, and I couldn't be happier to start this new chapter with him. But as our big day approaches, I find myself grappling with a series of financial missteps that I'm afraid could put a damper on our celebration and our future together. It all started when we decided to move to a new city for my fiancé's job opportunity. He's an engineer, and he landed a position at a top firm with a salary that was significantly higher than what he was making before. I, on the other hand, was between jobs at the time. We agreed that it made sense for him to cover our living expenses while I focused on finding work in our new location. For the first few months, everything seemed to be going smoothly. My fiancé took care of the rent, utilities, and other bills, while I contributed by grocery shopping and taking care of the household chores. It was a system that worked well for us, and I was grateful for his support during a time of transition. Eventually, I found a job as a graphic designer at a small agency downtown. It wasn't my dream position, but it was a steady paycheck, and I was excited to be working again. When I offered to start pitching in more for our expenses, my fiancé insisted that I keep my money for myself. He said that I contributed to our relationship in so many other ways and that he was happy to continue covering the bills. I appreciated his generosity, but a part of me felt a little uneasy about not pulling my own weight financially. Fast forward to 2 months ago, when we started planning our wedding in earnest. My parents had generously offered to give us $15,000 to help cover the costs, and my fiancé and I had agreed to use that money for the vendors while he took care of the venue. We found a beautiful outdoor space that was perfect for our rustic theme, and we put down a deposit to reserve it for our date. But as we started getting quotes from caterers, florists, and other vendors, I realized that I had severely underestimated how much everything would cost. The $15,000 from my parents was quickly getting eaten up by deposits and fees, and we still had so many expenses left to cover. To make matters worse, I recently sat down to take a closer look at my finances and realized that I had made some serious miscalculations. It turns out that my take-home pay is actually $200 less per month than I had thought, and my savings account balance is off by nearly $8,000. I feel terrible about my mistakes, and I'm not sure how I'm going to break the news to my fiancé. We're also in the process of looking for a new place to live, as our current lease is set to expire in just a few weeks. The apartment complex we're in now is adding a $200 monthly amenity fee, which we can't afford on top of rent. My fiancé has been eager to buy a house, and he's been crunching the numbers based on our combined salaries. But with my financial missteps, I'm worried that we won't be able to qualify for a mortgage. I know I need to come clean to my fiancé about all of this, but I'm scared of how he'll react. He's been under so much stress lately with work, pulling long hours to finish up a big project before our wedding. He's barely slept in the past few days, and I don't want to add to his burden. At the same time, I know that honesty and communication are essential for a strong marriage. I can't start our life together by keeping secrets or hiding my mistakes. I need to find the courage to sit down with him and have a frank conversation about our financial situation. I'm trying to figure out the best way to approach this. We're supposed to head to his mom's house tomorrow to stay there until the wedding, and I don't want to ruin the excitement and joy of this special time. But I also don't want to wait until after we're married to drop this bombshell on him. I keep running through different scenarios in my head. Maybe I could bring it up on the car ride to his mom's house when we have some quiet time to ourselves. Or maybe I should wait until we're settled in at her place and find a moment to pull him aside for a private chat. I'm also trying to think of ways to reassure him and show him that we can work through this together. I want to be proactive and come up with a plan for cutting back on expenses and boosting our savings. I'm willing to take on extra freelance work or sell some of my belongings to help make up for my shortfall. More than anything, I want my fiancé to know that I'm committed to being a responsible and equal partner in our marriage. I know I've made some mistakes, but I'm ready to own up to them and do whatever it takes to make things right. I'm trying to focus on the bigger picture and remember what really matters. Yes, money is important, but it's not everything. What matters most is the love and commitment we share, and the fact that we're about to start a new life together. When I think about our wedding day, I picture the moment when I'll walk down the aisle and see my fiancé waiting for me at the other end. I imagine the tears in his eyes and the smile on his face as we exchange our vows and promise to love and cherish each other for the rest of our lives. Those are the moments that I want to focus on, not the financial stress or the logistical headaches. I want to be present and grateful for the incredible blessing of marrying my best friend and partner. So even though I'm scared and unsure of how to handle this situation, I know that I have to face it head on. I have to be honest with my fiancé and work with him to find a solution. I have to trust in the strength of our relationship and our ability to overcome any obstacle together. I'm going to take a deep breath and find a quiet moment to talk to him. I'll apologize for my mistakes and lay out all the facts as clearly as I can. I'll listen to his concerns and ideas, and we'll come up with a plan together. It might not be easy, and there might be some tough conversations and sacrifices ahead. But I know that we can do this. I know that our love is strong enough to weather any storm. So as we head into this next chapter of our lives, I'm choosing to focus on the positives. I'm choosing to be grateful for my incredible partner and the beautiful life we're building together. I'm choosing to have faith in ourselves and in the power of love to conquer all. And when we stand up there on our wedding day, exchanging rings and promising forever, I'll know that we've already overcome so much together. I'll know that we're ready for whatever the future holds, as long as we have each other. So here's to new beginnings, to honest communication, and to a lifetime of love and happiness. No matter what challenges come our way, I know we'll face them hand in hand, heart to heart. As I reflect on our journey together, I can't help but feel a sense of awe and gratitude for the love that we share. It's a love that has seen us through countless ups and downs, a love that has grown and deepened with each passing year. I think back to the early days of our relationship, when everything was new and exciting. We were two young people falling head over heels for each other, discovering all the ways we fit together like puzzle pieces. I remember the butterflies in my stomach every time I saw him, the way my heart would skip a beat when he smiled at me. Over time, that initial infatuation grew into something deeper and more profound. We learned how to communicate with each other, how to support each other through the tough times and celebrate each other's successes. We discovered shared values and dreams, and we started building a life together that reflected those priorities. Now, as we stand on the cusp of marriage, I feel a sense of excitement and anticipation for all that lies ahead. I know that we'll face challenges and obstacles, just like any couple does. But I also know that we have the tools and the resilience to overcome anything that comes our way. I think about the vows we'll exchange on our wedding day, the promises we'll make to love and cherish each other for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer. Those aren't just empty words to me. They're a sacred commitment, a declaration of our intention to build a life together based on honesty, respect, and unconditional love. I know that I haven't always been perfect in our relationship. I've made mistakes and I've had moments of weakness. But I also know that I'm willing to own up to those mistakes and work to make things right. I'm willing to have the tough conversations and make the necessary changes to be the best partner I can be. And I know that my fiancé is willing to do the same. He's a man of integrity and compassion, someone who always strives to do the right thing. He's been my rock through so many storms, my partner in every sense of the word. I trust him completely, and I know that he'll always have my back, no matter what. So even though I'm nervous about having this conversation about our finances, I know that it's the right thing to do. I know that we'll approach it with love and understanding, and that we'll find a way to work through it together. In the grand scheme of things, money is just a means to an end. It's a tool that we can use to build the life we want. But it's not the most important thing. What matters most is the love and commitment we share, the joy and laughter we bring to each other's lives, the memories we'll make together over a lifetime. I think about the future we're dreaming of, the home we'll create together, the children we might have someday. I think about growing old with him by my side, still holding hands and stealing kisses like we did when we were young. Those are the things that truly matter, the things that make all the struggles and sacrifices worthwhile. So as we navigate this latest challenge, I'm choosing to focus on the bigger picture. I'm choosing to have faith in our love and in our ability to overcome anything that comes our way. I'm choosing to be grateful for the incredible partner I've found and the beautiful life we're building together. And when we look back on this moment years from now, I know we'll see it as just another chapter in our love story. We'll remember how we faced it together, how we grew stronger and closer because of it. We'll remember the lessons we learned and the ways we changed for the better. So here's to a lifetime of love and growth, of laughter and tears, of triumphs and challenges. Here's to being each other's best friend, biggest fan, and partner in all things. Here's to building a marriage that's based on honesty, respect, and unwavering commitment. I know that there will be times when we stumble and fall, when we disappoint each other or let each other down. But I also know that we'll always find our way back to each other, that we'll always choose love over fear, forgiveness over resentment, growth over stagnation. Because that's the kind of love we have, the kind of love that can move mountains and weather any storm. It's a love that's rooted in friendship and trust, in shared values and dreams. It's a love that's worth fighting for, worth sacrificing for, worth building a life around. So as we step into this new chapter of our lives, I'm filled with hope and excitement for all that lies ahead. I'm ready to face whatever challenges come our way, knowing that I have my best friend and soulmate by my side. I'm ready to build a marriage that's a true partnership, one that brings out the best in both of us and helps us grow into the people we're meant to be. I'm ready to create a home filled with love and laughter, warmth and comfort, joy and peace. And most of all, I'm ready to spend the rest of my life loving this incredible man, being his partner and his equal, his lover and his friend. I'm ready to build a legacy of love that will last long after we're gone, one that will inspire future generations to believe in the power of true connection and commitment. So here's to us, my love. Here's to our beautiful, messy, imperfect, wonderful life together. Here's to facing every challenge and celebrating every victory hand in hand, heart to heart. I can't wait to marry you and start this next chapter of our adventure together. I can't wait to see what the future holds and who will become along the way. I can't wait to love you more with each passing day, to grow old and gray by your side. Because with you, I know that anything is possible. With you, I know that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. With you, I know that I'm home. So let's do this, my love. Let's build a life that's beyond our wildest dreams. Let's face every challenge with courage and grace, every joy with gratitude and wonder. Let's love each other fiercely and faithfully through all the seasons of our lives. And let's never forget the magic that brought us together, the love that sustains us, the hope that guides us forward. Let's never take for granted the incredible gift we've been given, the chance to spend our lives loving and being loved by each other. Because in the end, that's what it's all about. That's what makes every struggle and sacrifice worthwhile. That's what fills our hearts with joy and our lives with meaning. So here's to us, my love. Here's to our happily ever after, our forever and always. Here's to a lifetime of love, laughter, and adventure, hand in hand, heart to heart. I love you more than words can say, and I always will. Let's do this. I've been with my boyfriend for 2.5 years now. We're both in our mid-20s and have known each other since we were just kids in elementary school. You'd think that with such a long history together, we'd be on the same page when it comes to our relationship, but lately, I've been feeling like we're worlds apart. The problem is that my boyfriend always seems to be the one calling the shots when it comes to our dates and activities. Don't get me wrong, I love spending time with him, but it feels like we only ever do the things that he wants to do. He's really into mountain biking and will often go on long rides with his buddies on the weekends. I've asked him if I could come along sometime, but he always says that since I don't have my own bike and gear, it wouldn't make sense for me to join. I get that mountain biking is his thing, but it's not the only thing in the world. I've tried suggesting other activities that we could do together, like checking out a new art exhibit or taking a cooking class, but he never seems interested. Instead, we always end up going to the same places and doing the same things. It's usually dinner at a restaurant followed by a movie or maybe a trip to the amusement park if we're feeling adventurous. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but sometimes it feels like our relationship is stuck in a rut. I've put in a lot of effort to show my boyfriend that I care about the things that are important to him. I even started working out more and watching what I eat so that I could keep up with him on his outdoor adventures. I used to be pretty overweight, but over the past year, I've managed to lose over 50 pounds through diet and exercise. It hasn't been easy, but I did it because I wanted to be able to share in his hobbies and passions. So when he still makes comments about how I'm not as active or fit as he is, it really stings. I know I'm not at his level yet, but I'm trying my best. It's not like I'm sitting around all day eating junk food and watching TV. I work hard at my job as a graphic designer, and I make time for exercise and self-care. I just wish he could see and appreciate the effort I'm putting in. Lately, I've been feeling like I need to take matters into my own hands. I don't have a car, but there's a train station not too far from my apartment. I've been thinking about taking a solo trip into the city one weekend and exploring on my own. There are so many museums, galleries, and parks that I've always wanted to check out, but I've been waiting for my boyfriend to show an interest. I'm realizing now that if I want to do these things, I need to make them happen for myself. I also have a friend from my old job who I've been meaning to catch up with. We used to work together at a coffee shop and always got along really well, but we lost touch after I left for my current position. I'm thinking about reaching out to her and seeing if she wants to hang out sometime. It would be nice to have someone to explore the city with and talk to about something other than mountain biking and video games. I know that relationships require compromise and effort from both people involved. I'm willing to put in the work to make things better between my boyfriend and me. I've tried talking to him about how I feel, but it's hard to get through to him sometimes. He's not a bad guy, but he can be really stubborn and set in his ways. I don't want to give up on our relationship, but I also don't want to lose myself in the process. I have my own interests, dreams, and goals, and I need to feel like I'm able to pursue them. I want a partner who supports and encourages me, not someone who holds me back or makes me feel like my passions are less important than theirs. I know that change doesn't happen overnight, but I'm hopeful that with time and effort, my boyfriend and I can find a way to meet each other halfway. I want us to be able to have fun together and experience new things as a couple. I want to feel like we're equals in this relationship, both giving and receiving love and support. In the meantime, I'm going to focus on taking care of myself and doing the things that make me happy. I'm going to plan that solo trip to the city and reach out to my old friend. I'm going to keep working towards my goals and celebrating my achievements, no matter how big or small. I know that I deserve to be in a relationship that makes me feel valued, respected, and loved. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best to be a good partner and a good person. I just hope that my boyfriend can see that and start putting in the same effort that I am. At the end of the day, I believe that love is worth fighting for. I'm willing to put in the work to make my relationship stronger and more fulfilling. I know it won't be easy, but I'm ready to face the challenges head-on. I'm ready to have the tough conversations and make the necessary changes. I'm ready to grow and learn and become the best version of myself, both for my own sake and for the sake of my relationship. I know that I'm not alone in this struggle. So many people out there are facing similar challenges in their own relationships. It's easy to feel like you're the only one going through it, but the truth is that we all have our own battles to fight and our own lessons to learn. If you're reading this and you're feeling stuck in a one-sided relationship, I want you to know that you're not alone. You deserve to be with someone who values your thoughts, feelings, and desires. You deserve to be with someone who is willing to put in the effort to make things work. You deserve to be with someone who loves you for who you are, flaws and all. It's not always easy to stand up for yourself and demand the love and respect that you deserve. It can be scary to rock the boat and risk losing the person you care about. But at the end of the day, you have to be true to yourself and your own needs. You have to be willing to fight for your own happiness and well-being. So if you're feeling like your relationship is unbalanced or unfulfilling, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to have the tough conversations and make the necessary changes. Don't be afraid to put yourself first and do what's best for you. Remember, you are worthy of love and respect. You are capable of creating the kind of relationship that you want and deserve. It may take time and effort, but it's worth it in the end. As for me, I'm going to keep pushing forward and working towards a more equal and fulfilling partnership with my boyfriend. I'm going to keep exploring my own interests and passions, both with and without him. I'm going to keep growing and learning and becoming the best version of myself. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be able to look back on this challenging time in our relationship and see it as a turning point. Maybe we'll be able to appreciate the lessons we learned and the growth we experienced. Maybe we'll be able to look at each other with new eyes and a deeper understanding of what it means to love and be loved. But for now, I'm taking things one day at a time. I'm focusing on the present moment and doing what I can to make my life and my relationship better. I'm choosing to be hopeful and optimistic, even in the face of uncertainty and doubt. I know that love is a journey, not a destination. It's a constant process of learning, growing, and evolving. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it in the end. So here's to the journey ahead. Here's to the challenges and the triumphs, the laughter and the tears, the love and the growth. Here's to being true to ourselves and fighting for the kind of love that we all deserve. And most importantly, here's to never giving up on ourselves or on the people we love. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters most. As I sit here reflecting on my own relationship journey, I can't help but think about how far I've come and how much further I still have to go. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, with plenty of ups and downs along the way. But through it all, I've learned so much about myself, my partner, and what it truly means to love and be loved. I think back to the early days of our relationship, when everything was new and exciting. We couldn't get enough of each other's company and everything seemed perfect. But as time went on, the cracks started to show. We started to realize that we had different interests, different priorities, and different ways of communicating. At first, I tried to ignore the problems and pretend like everything was fine. I didn't want to rock the boat or risk losing the person I cared about. But as the months turned into years, I started to feel more and more unfulfilled. I felt like I was constantly compromising my own needs and desires for the sake of the relationship. It wasn't until I hit a breaking point that I finally found the courage to speak up. I remember the day like it was yesterday. We were sitting on the couch watching a movie that he had picked out. I couldn't even tell you what it was about, because I was so lost in my own thoughts. I felt like I was suffocating, like I was losing myself in this relationship that was supposed to make me happy. So I took a deep breath and I told him how I felt. I told him that I loved him, but that I needed more from our relationship. I needed to feel like my thoughts and feelings mattered. I needed to feel like we were equals, both giving and receiving love and support. It wasn't an easy conversation, but it was a necessary one. And to my surprise, he actually listened. He didn't get defensive or shut down. He acknowledged that he had been selfish at times and that he needed to do better. He promised to make more of an effort to consider my needs and to compromise when necessary. It wasn't a magic fix, but it was a start. And over time, things started to get better. We started trying new things together, like taking a cooking class or going on a weekend getaway. We started having more meaningful conversations and really listening to each other. We started putting in the effort to make our relationship stronger and more fulfilling. Of course, there are still challenges and obstacles to overcome. We're not perfect and we never will be, but we're committed to working through them together, one day at a time. I've also learned the importance of taking care of myself and pursuing my own passions outside of the relationship. I've started taking solo trips to the city and exploring all the things I've always wanted to see and do. I've reconnected with old friends and made new ones. I've rediscovered hobbies and interests that I had let fall by the wayside. And you know what? It's made me a better partner in the process. By taking care of myself and filling my own cup, I'm able to show up more fully in my relationship. I'm able to give more love and support because I'm not running on empty. I know that this journey is far from over. There will be more challenges and obstacles to come. There will be more moments of doubt and uncertainty. But I also know that I'm stronger and wiser than I was before. I know that I have the tools and the resilience to face whatever comes my way. And most importantly, I know that I'm not alone. I have a partner who loves me and is willing to put in the work to make our relationship thrive. I have friends and family who support me and cheer me on. I have a community of people who understand the struggles and the joys of love and relationships. So to anyone out there who is feeling stuck or unfulfilled in their own relationship, I want to offer some words of encouragement. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are not unworthy of love and respect. You have the power to create the kind of relationship that you want and deserve. It may not be easy, but it's possible. It starts with being honest with yourself and your partner about your needs and desires. It starts with putting in the effort to communicate, compromise, and grow together. It starts with never giving up on yourself or on the people you love. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters most. That's what will carry you through the tough times and help you celebrate the good times. So keep fighting for your happiness. Keep pursuing your passions. Keep loving with all your heart. And most importantly, keep believing in yourself and in the power of love to transform your life. I know I will. I know that I'm on the right path, even if it's not always a smooth one. I know that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, learning the lessons I need to learn and growing into the person I'm meant to become. And I know that with faith, hope, and a whole lot of love, anything is possible. So here's to the journey ahead. Here's to the love that lights the way. And here's to never giving up on ourselves or on each other. Because in the end, that's what it's all about. That's what makes life worth living. And that's what will carry us through, no matter what challenges come our way. I've been with my girlfriend for almost 3.5 years now. We're both 27 years old and have been through a lot together. When we first started dating, everything was perfect. We would spend every free moment together, going on adventures, trying new restaurants, and just enjoying each other's company. She would come over to my apartment and we would cook dinner together, watch movies, and talk for hours about our hopes and dreams. But as time went on, things started to change. We both got busy with work and other responsibilities. I work as a graphic designer and my job can be demanding at times. She's a teacher and often has to grade papers and plan lessons in the evenings. We started seeing each other less and less, and when we did spend time together, it wasn't always quality time. About 6 months ago, we had a really emotional conversation. She told me that she felt like we were growing apart and that she wasn't sure if we wanted the same things in life anymore. I was shocked and hurt, but I knew we needed to talk about it. We both admitted that we had been neglecting our relationship and not putting in the effort to make it work. We decided to try to work things out. I made an effort to be more present when we were together and to really listen to her needs. We started going on dates again and making time for each other, even if it was just a quick coffee date or a walk in the park. But then, a few weeks ago, something happened that really shook me. She told me that she had been talking to another guy. She said it was just friendly conversation, but it still hurt to hear. I told her how I felt and that I wouldn't stand for any kind of cheating or emotional infidelity. She apologized and said she would stop talking to him. Fast forward to last week, and we had made loose plans to spend some time together. We hadn't seen each other in about 10 days, except for a quick dinner date one evening after work. But then she told me that she didn't want to come over to my place. She said she was tired of always being at my apartment while I worked and that she wanted some alone time. I was really upset. I had been looking forward to seeing her all week, and I couldn't understand why she didn't want to spend time with me. We decided to talk on the phone that night since it was too late for me to drive to her place. During the call, she brought up a lot of the same issues we had talked about before. She said she still wasn't sure if we were right for each other and that she felt overwhelmed by our relationship. I tried to reassure her and remind her of all the progress we had made, but she just couldn't give me a straight answer about what she wanted. I could tell she was really struggling with her feelings, so I suggested that we take a few days apart to give her some space to think things through. She agreed and said she would reach out to me when she was ready to talk. It's been 4 days now and I haven't heard from her. She's been active on social media and even liked one of my posts, but we haven't had any direct communication. I'm trying to give her the space she needs, but it's really hard not knowing what she's thinking or feeling. I can't help but wonder if this is the beginning of the end for us. I know she's not seeing anyone else, but what if she's just lost feelings for me? What if she's scared of committing to our relationship long term? I know we've been through a lot together, but what if it's just not enough? I'm trying to stay positive and focus on myself during this time apart. I've been going to the gym more and spending time with friends and family, but every day that goes by without hearing from her feels like torture. I know I need to be patient and respect her need for space, but it's not easy. I keep going over our relationship in my head, trying to figure out where things went wrong and what I could have done differently. I know communication is key in any relationship, but sometimes it feels like we're just talking in circles without really resolving anything. I wish I had all the answers, but the truth is, relationships are complicated and messy sometimes. They require work and effort from both people involved. And even then, there's no guarantee that things will work out in the end. But despite all the uncertainty and heartache, I still believe in love. I still believe in the power of two people coming together and building a life together. And I know that whatever happens with my girlfriend, I will come out of this stronger and wiser. So for now, I'll keep waiting and hoping. I'll keep working on myself and trusting that everything happens for a reason. And when she's ready to talk, I'll be here with an open heart and mind, ready to listen and work through whatever challenges come our way. Because at the end of the day, that's what love is all about. It's about being there for each other through the good times and the bad. It's about growing together and learning from each other. And it's about never giving up on the person you love, even when things get tough. So to anyone else out there who might be going through a similar situation, my advice is this: don't lose hope. Keep communicating with your partner and be honest about your feelings. Give each other space when needed, but also make an effort to show up for each other in small ways every day. And most importantly, remember that you are worthy of love and happiness, no matter what happens. You are strong and capable of getting through anything life throws your way. So keep your head up and your heart open, because you never know what beautiful things might be waiting for you just around the corner. As I sit here reflecting on my own journey, I can't help but think about all the other people out there who might be going through something similar. Maybe you're in a long-term relationship that's hit a rough patch, or maybe you're single and wondering if you'll ever find true love. Whatever your situation may be, I want you to know that you are not alone. We all have our own unique experiences when it comes to love and relationships, but at the core, we all want the same thing: to feel loved, valued, and understood by another person. And while the path to finding that kind of love isn't always easy, I truly believe that it's worth fighting for. I think about my grandparents who were married for over 50 years before my grandfather passed away. They had their share of ups and downs over the years, but they always managed to come back to each other with love and understanding. They taught me that true love isn't about perfection or always agreeing on everything, but rather about choosing to love and support each other through all of life's challenges. I also think about my best friend, who went through a devastating breakup a few years ago. She was with her partner for 6 years and thought they would be together forever, but eventually, they realized that they had grown apart and wanted different things in life. It was a painful and messy process, but through it all, she never lost sight of her own worth and value as a person. She took the time to focus on herself, to heal and grow and figure out what she really wanted in life. And now, a few years later, she's in a new relationship with someone who truly sees and appreciates her for who she is. They have their own challenges to work through, but they approach everything with love, respect, and a willingness to communicate openly and honestly. I share these stories not to say that every relationship will work out perfectly in the end, but rather to remind you that love is resilient and adaptable. It can weather even the toughest storms and come out stronger on the other side. So if you're going through a tough time in your own relationship right now, don't lose hope. Keep talking to your partner, keep working on yourself, and keep believing in the power of love to transform and heal. And if you're single and wondering if you'll ever find the right person, don't give up on yourself or on love. Keep putting yourself out there. Keep learning and growing and becoming the best version of yourself. Because when the right person does come along, you'll be ready to love and be loved in return. I know it's not always easy to stay positive and hopeful, especially when it feels like the world is constantly throwing curveballs your way. But I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and that even the most painful experiences can teach us valuable lessons and help us grow into the people we're meant to be. So as I sit here waiting to hear back from my girlfriend, I'm choosing to focus on the love and gratitude I feel for all the wonderful people in my life. I'm choosing to trust in the journey and believe that everything will work out the way it's supposed to, even if it's not the way I originally planned. And I'm choosing to keep my heart open and my head held high, because I know that I am worthy of love and happiness, no matter what happens. And so are you. So if you're reading this and struggling with your own relationship challenges, I hope you'll take a moment to breathe and remember how far you've come. Remember all the obstacles you've overcome and all the love you've given and received. And remember that you are not alone, and that there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. Keep loving, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself and in the power of love to change lives. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And I have a feeling that the best is yet to come.